Okay, so now we're going to be talking about averages. Okay, so X sold 9 used books for $9.80 each. With the money from these sales, let's calculate that. 980 times 9 equals 88.20. 20. Okay, with the money from these sales, she bought 4 new books and had $37.80 left over. So let's subtract $37.80 from what she did. So minus 37.80, and she's got 50.40. Okay, $50.40, and she had bought 4 new books. And then I'm going to divide that by 4. And it's $12.60 a book. So what is the average amount Juan paid for each new book? So it was $12.60, because what we did was we took how much she sold her used books for, and then they told us how much she had left over after she had bought the 4 books. So this is what she spent on 4 books. So then we just divided that by the 4 books, and you got your $12.60. Okay. So this one, in 1995, the cost of clothing for a certain family was $620. In 1995, 10 years later, the cost of clothing for this family was $1,000. Okay, I'm a visual person, so I'm going to go 1985, and it was $620. And then 1995, it was $1,000. Okay, assuming the cost increased linearly, which means equal parts, what was the cost of the family's clothing in 1991? So 92, 90, or 86, 87, okay, 90, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so then 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91. Okay, so what we got to do, oops, did I count this wrong? 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95. Yeah, okay. So now it's not looking very linear here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so they want to know, assuming the cost increased linearly, what is the cost of the family's clothing in 1991? So we got 6 years here, right? And 4 years here. So now what we got to do is figure out, of these 10 sections, how much is that? So what we're going to do is we're going to take 1,000 minus the 620. Let's do that on a calculator. 1,000 minus 620, and we got 380. Okay, so 380 divided by 10 is $38 a year. Now, because they want to find out what's in 1991, we've got to do 38 times 6. So 38 times 6 is 228 plus the 620 it started with, plus the 620, and that's equal to 848. Oh, and that would be B right here. Okay, so that's what we have to do. So I'm a visual person, so I wrote it out, and I noticed that 91 was all the way here, so that's 6 years versus, in the 10 years. So what we had to do is divide by 10 and then times it by 6 to get that total, and then we had to add it to the 620 that started in 1985. Okay. Next one, Samantha, Nyla, and Jerry own shares of stock in the Triumph Hotels Company. The shares of stock that they own have a combined value of $6,880. Okay, so 6,880. Samantha owns 70. So I'm going to go 70 for Samantha. I'm going to put S for shares. Okay, Nyla, or I'm going to do 50 for Nyla. And then Jerry owns 40, 40S. Okay. And we're going to add those together, right? What is the value of shares Samantha owns? So Samantha owns 70 shares. So what we got to do is we got to do the 70 plus the 50 plus the 40. 70 plus the 50 plus the 40. Okay, that's 160. And we got to divide, so that's 160s. Okay, so 160s equals 6880. And this is just like our equations. We got to do the 160, 160. So now let's do that. 6880 divided by 160. And that's 43. So S equals 43. Now, are we done? No, we're not done, because now we got to times it by that 70. So 43 times the 70, that's 3,010. So that's C right in the middle. Okay, that's C. All right, so the next one. A retail sales associate daily commissions during 1 week was 30 on Monday and Tuesday. Okay, I'm a visual person, so I'm going to go Monday is 30. Monday and Tuesday, so 30. And 70 on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I'm going to do 70, 70, 70. What was the associate's average daily commission? There's your magic word, commission for 5 days. So that's 210 right there. And that's 60. If you need the calculator, do it. So that's 270. And then we got to divide that by 5 days, right? Because that's the total. So 270 divided by 5 is 54. And that would be that answer right there. And as you can notice, this calculator this is from the Dollar Tree. This is $1.25. This is what I use. You can have a fancier one that knows how to do more functions, but to pass and to get your diploma, all you need is a simple calculator to do these easier questions. And we're going to be showing you how to attack the test and find the easy questions, and then make sure you choose one letter and stick with it for the remainder of the questions. Okay? So we're going to move on to this one right here. Tina runs at a rate of 8 miles per hour. At that rate, how many miles will she run in 12 minutes? Okay, so we know an hour is 60 minutes, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 60 minutes divided by 8. And I'm going to figure out how many miles she runs, or 8 miles per hour. Let me see how many minutes per mile. So I'm going to do 60 divided by 8, and it's 7.5 minutes. So 7.5 minutes per mile. Per mile. Okay, so 7.5 minutes now. And they want us to know 12. So 7.5 divided by 12. Oop, that's not going to be right. My bad. We're going to go 12 minutes divided by 7.5, and we're going to get 1.6. Okay? 1.6, this would be 6 over 10. 1.6 would be this right here. So we know it's going to be 1, so we're going to cross out this one, and this one. We know it's not 1/2, because 1/2 would be 1/5. And if we times this by 2 and times that by 2, we know that 0.6 is equal to 0.6. So we know it would be 1.6 on our calculator, but it would be also 1 3/5 as a fraction. Okay, so right here, Chantel left her home. So the next one, Chantel left her home at 9 a.m. on Tuesday and traveled 648 miles. When she arrived at her destination, it was 3 a.m. the next day. Okay, I'm a visual person, so what I need to do is I need to put 9 a.m. till noon. Okay, and we know that's 3 hours, right? 3 hours. Then noon until midnight is going to be 12 hours, okay? When she arrived at her destination, it was 3 a.m. the next day. So we know that this is 3 a.m. We know this is another 3 hours. Okay, again, I'm a visual person. I have to write these out. So we got 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 12, that's 18 hours. Okay, so she was traveling for 18 hours. When she arrived, okay, given that her home and her destination are in the same time zone, which of the following is closest to her average speed per hour for this trip? So she had 18 hours, 648, it was her miles traveled. So I'm going to do 648 divided by 18. And that equals 36 miles per hour. Pretty slow, but that's including stopping and all that kind of stuff. So that's how we get to that, and that's C right there. Okay. Now, the next one, a truck traveling at 35 miles has a leaky radiator that is losing 4 fluid ounces per minute. Wow. Okay. So 35 miles per hour. Okay, 35 miles per hour, and it has how many miles will the truck travel before the radiator, which held 480 fluid ounces, it began to leak, is empty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that 480 and I'm going to divide by that 4 minute per minute, okay? 4 ounces per minute. Okay, so I'm going to take the 480 divided by 4. And I'm going to get 120. Okay, now, here we go. So 120 minutes. We can last with this for 120 minutes. How many? Okay, so this is based on miles per hour. How many hours is in 120 minutes? We know 1 hour is equal to 60. So we know we're talking 2 hours. Okay, and if he's going 35 miles per hour, we would have to times that 35 times the 2 hours. So 35 times 2 is 70, and here's your answer right here. So 2 hours times the 35, 35 times 2 equals the 70 miles. Okay. All right, so we're going down to the next one. So far this basketball season, Sharita made 46 of her 60 free throws. So I'm going to write 46 of 60. Okay. Given her a free throw average of 76.7. What is the minimum number of free throws that she would need to make from now on in order to have a free throw average of at least 80? Okay. So what is the min number? Okay, it's not going to be 2. I'm going to go, and this is another hint. I always cross out this one, and I'm going to go right in the middle. I'm going to start with the middle one, so I'm going to know if I have to go up or I have to go down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 10. And what is the minimum number of free throws she would need to make from now on in order to so she has to make them. So I'm going to go 10. So I'm going to say 56 out of 70. Okay, and I'm just taking a shot, so I'm going to know that either I have to go down or I have to go up. So let's try this. 56 divided by 70 is up. Okay, that's 0.80. Okay, so how I did that is, I'm not sure. I got to take a stab in the dark. And I knew it wasn't going to be 2, and I knew it wasn't going to be 20. So I'm going to start right in the middle and see if I have to go up or down. Then I would know if it's if it's way off, or if it's just a little low, I can go to 14. If it's a little high, way high, I would go to 3. But in this case, I just took a shot in the dark and went right in the middle, and that was the answer. So that's how you take care of those. Okay. So then the last one here, the ratio of Jane's age to her daughter's age is 9:2. The sum of their ages is 44. How old is Jane? Okay, so I'm going to use my answers to help this. The age to her daughter's age is 9 to 2. So I'm going to do 9 to 2. So if she was 36, 36 into 4, you'd have to divide by, or you'd have to times by 4. I'm going to times by 4, and I'm going to get 8. How old is Jane? Jane's age and her daughter's age. Okay. Now, 36, oh, look at that. Okay, I guessed right. So 36 and 8 is 44. Okay. So you have to keep the ratio the same. And I did 9 times 4 because I had to figure out 22 doesn't go into 9, so that couldn't be it. 33 doesn't go into 9, 35 doesn't go into 9, and 40 doesn't go into 9. The only one that this one works with was 36. So I made it easy and I started with that one. And I happened to be right. Remember, they want to give you the answer. What you got to do is make sure, let them help you get the answer. So in this case, 36 plus 8 is the 44. So I know that this answer would be D. Okay, so that's it for averages. And now what you want to do is you want to go to the tests and look at my opportunity sheet to see how you can attack questions on the actual ACT. Good luck, and we look forward to the next tutorial.